and stop it with your forehead. You can even do it with his face.
Yeah! Yeah! I'm ready to go.
Today I want to talk about movement and how we get to where we need to get around the crease. And I could take the world's biggest piece of you-know-what goaltender, put him in the NHL today. I could probably even put Trav in the NHL today if he was a great mover. And we're getting him better this summer, but being a great mover makes your life a lot easier. If you're standing in the right spot, you're going to stop more pucks. And here's some techniques and different skills you need to be a great mover to get around the crease. First of all, let's watch Ben. He's going to shuffle over and across, and we use shuffles sometimes to relax concentration stance. We're moving around, we're still semi-ready, but we're shuffling. Both our toes are pointing straight ahead. Now, we're not shot ready, but it lets us get to that position where we need to get to. Another way to move in a shuffle is a deeper stance. Get your butt down low, you're a little more shot ready, and you're keeping things facing out at the play with your toes. So if a shot does come, you'll be able to get your knees down quickly. Now, a couple things. When we're shuffling, when we use razor sharp skates, you can almost take a little bit of weight off that foot, so you're almost stepping, so it's hardly grinding in the ice. If we do put too much weight on that lead skate, that's when you're going to trip, catch that edge, and fall down. Now, top of the crease here. Another way to move is T-pushes, where you point your toe and you get across your new target. So T-pushes, get a big distance in a short period of time with great explosion. So besides working on your shuffling, you always need to work on your T-pushes. Now, there's something to talk about here, and that is the middle first guys. So if we got an example of Ben at the top of the crease here, in slow motion, let's watch this. Sometimes people teach, you go back, you pivot, big circle, you come back here, a big C shape, try it again, middle first guys, and then you come out at the end. I took physics in school, I went to university, and I learned this is a longer pathway than to just go straight across. We should be moving in straight lines, not curvy, goofy stuff. Now watch. Now he's going to go straight across the top here, open up pivot, and push straight across. We gain depth and angle at the exact same time. There's no need to grab middle first. Makes no sense from a physics point of view, and nobody can make an argument where it ever makes sense. So that's the first thing we want to talk about today, is your shuffling and your T-pushes. Now let's talk about stopping. Yeah, let's do that a couple more times. Do that 4 or 5 more times. And 2. Excellent. Now, we're going to repeat that again in 1 second. Now what we got going here is you got to be able to challenge and retreat. Another way to describe that, telescoping and retreat. Telescoping means coming out to gain depth. Retreating means moving backwards to the net. Now watch his explosiveness and his 0 to 60 acceleration. Same thing again. Here we go. And back fast. Nice. Excellent. Now, for me, one of the reasons why goalies don't challenge appropriately is they don't trust their skating, and they end up being very passive. If you're a great skater, you can be selectively aggressive, and that's what smart goalies do. If you've got no skating dynamics or explosiveness, you end up being very receptive and very passive, and you take what they give you. I don't want you to be over-challenging, but you want to have great explosion forward and backward, so you can choose the optimal depth when the right time arrives.
I'm ready to go. Don't stop me.
Drill of the week is we want to talk about stick involvement and active blocker involvement. So let's look at this very static drill right here. Many goalies make this mistake on blocker side shots. They just use their pad. And look where that comes. It comes into danger. And if we look at that last puck, that puck basically was just a hair away from his stick. So as a goaltender, drill of the week is this, related to the stick. Let's work on stick involvement. Turn that puck to the corner and make it go to a safe spot. Now, too many goalies are good at stick involvement on the glove side, and too many goalies, for some reason, when they butterfly, they refuse to bring their stick over to get it involved on low shots to the blocker side. Similarly with the blocker, we got to be active. Besides the ones that come in pristinely where we want, we slightly turn the blocker and we turn our head. We also got to be able to go down and get that 16-inch puck. So another great drill variation. So another thing we want to work on this week is being very active and precise with your blocker. Even on those little 11 inchers, those little ones, get that blocker out in front of you and turn it to the corner. All right, put your hands behind your back and stop it with your forehead. You can even do it with the space.
Yeah! I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Who's stopping me?
Alrighty, back for Bronco chat. Now I got the microphone working. I shot all this stuff once already today, but forgot the microphone. So let's try it with good audio. Anyways, today I want to talk about tryouts. It's the spring, crappy weather, playoff time. It's also the time in minor hockey when teams try out the AAAs and junior teams run their rookie camps. And there's some discussion that needs to happen around these tryouts because a lot of times parents get really butthurt this time of year. It's unfair. My kid was the last cut with AAA and now he's playing house league. He got cut down through all the levels. Coach's son, politics, nepotism, all that stuff. And I really want to dig into this a little bit today to help you put this all in perspective and give you some tips and some advice on how you can approach these tryouts to best showcase what you can do. Now, when we first get into it at these tryouts, there's something called incumbents. And incumbents basically mean people that were on the team last year that are likely going to secure a spot again this year. And ideally, when you go to try out for a new organization or a team, AAA, whatever it is, you want to try out where you know they're missing a goalie or two. But in many cases, you don't have a choice because of your region. You have to show up and try out for where it is. And a lot of times these AAA goalies, once they're in the system, they stay there forever. Now, it's also a negative. People say, well, I can't get in. The AAA goalies are always there the whole time, and I never got in when he's early, so my kid not going to get a chance. Well, it doesn't really help that kid later. If they don't pan out, playing AAA when you get to junior, nobody cares about. At junior, they just care, can this kid help my team? And so a lot of these political things, coach's son, all that stuff, only helps them until they get to the junior level. And then at the end of the day, the curtain comes up and they're not going to make it. But that's them. How does that affect your kid when you can't even get on a team because you're not even given a chance? And when you get cut, you go down a million levels. Let's put it in perspective. Let's ask yourself, why does this matter? Well, my kid loves hockey. He just wants to play at the highest level he can possibly play. Cool. But ultimately, you know what this comes down to is parents get emotional about this when kids don't play at a certain level because they're thinking about outcomes. Here's the first outcome they think about. Well, if my kid doesn't get in the AAA stream, he's never going to get drafted, he never play in the NHL, he loves the NHL, he loves hockey. Well, cool. It would be nice if we all play in the NHL, and cool as a parent to say our kid plays in the NHL. That's not how it works. This is how it's always worked, and this is how it's going to continue to work. There's tryouts where teams are pretty much predetermined, pre-selected, and don't fool yourself. Tryouts are already a closed shop in most cases. That's just the way it is. So if you go into that tryout knowing that, you can't be shocked when it actually happens. Your actual tryouts don't happen at these little skates in the spring. These tryouts, they happened last season. Ask yourself honestly, go look in the mirror when you ask yourself, be honest. Was your kid the absolute best goalie at the lower level he was playing at last? Was he dominant? Was he subjectively and objectively dominant? If he's not, why do you think he should move up a level? If he was doing good, okay, decently, that doesn't mean your kid's ready to move up a level. True dominance, subjectively and objectively, means that you should be able to move up a level. Still, you might run into politics, even if that's actually the case. But if you're not worried about playing in the NHL and getting in the system early enough so you got a chance later, nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Just go show up, play hockey for fun, try to get 1 year better. Whatever team you land on, as low as it is, kick your butt and get 1 year better. On the ice, off the ice, grow your game and see where it takes you. And use your life lessons to overcome this unfairness. Have fun with your buddies. So, I wish you best of luck at your tryouts. You're either going to succeed or you're not going to succeed. Doesn't mean anything. It just means you either You should congratulate yourself, or you got work to do. And even if you make the team, you still have to get 1 year better anyway. So nothing really changes. You make a team or you don't, you still have to get 1 year better.
In the streets. Whoa!